Hi guys, it's Debbie, and today I'm here to celebrate a very special birthday because today it's Leonardo DiCaprio, one of my favourite actors' birthday. And the best way to celebrate this day is to count down 101 facts you probably didn't know about Leonardo DiCaprio, and so we can all get to know something more about this special actor. So these are 101 facts about Mr. DiCaprio. As a child, DiCaprio used to live in the worst parts of Hollywood, where he was exposed to poverty, drugs and prostitution at a very early age. He used to call this ghetto in which he lived Scumsville. He first had the idea of becoming an actor when his brother participated in a series of cornflake adverts and earned $50,000. His agent considered changing his name to Lenny Williams because he considered it less ethnic and more captivating. Leo obviously refused. DiCaprio has had to seek a court restriction against a woman who believed to be his wife and that she was carrying his baby called Jesus. Leonardo has booked a trip to fly to space on Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic. The seat next to him sold at auction at $1.5 million. 28 barbers in Kabul were once arrested for giving haircuts similar to the one that Leonardo DiCaprio had in Titanic, after they had received orders to not give the youth Western-inspired haircuts. Leo's first date was with a Spanish girl, and they went to see When Harry Met Sally. Leonardo described his first kiss as the most disgusting thing in his life and had to walk away and spit after the kiss. Leonardo suffered bullying at school and being thrown into the garbage can. Leonardo was nominated for his first Academy Award when he was just 19 years old. But in 1995, he nearly considered giving up his career as an actor after the death of both his grandfather and his dog left him so heartbroken. As a teenager, Leonardo was voted most bizarre male freshman because he looked much younger than his age and he was very skinny and behaved really wildly. He actually once appeared in his yearbook with a wig and the caption, "Elvis does live." During the filming of Romeo and Juliet in Mexico, Leonardo actually spent most of the time vomiting from dysentery, and whenever he had the chance, he drove back to the United States. As a matter of fact, the filming was a complete disaster. One of the crew members was caught by 3 men who threatened to kill him. There were episodes of food poisoning, there were attacks by killer bees, and there were multiple broken legs. Leonardo suffers of obsessive-compulsive disorder, which means that he often takes a long time to arrive on set because he has to perform certain routines. In the film Total Eclipse, Leonardo was very nervous about a same-sex kissing scene, and he actually applied disinfectant to his lips before filming it. And during a romantic scene in Total Eclipse, Leonardo was actually whispering into his male co-star's ear, "This sucks, this is sick, I want to throw up all over you." By the time Leo was born, his parents had already separated and he mostly grew up with his mother. His mother, Ermeline, is of Russian and German descent, and Leo can speak German. Leonardo was given his name because when he first kicked while his mother was pregnant, she was looking at a painting by Leonardo da Vinci. His father, George, would often hang out with Charles Bukowski and the Velvet Underground. During the filming of Titanic, somebody tried to poison the whole crew by lacing their food with a hallucinogenic drug. The culprit was never found, but many of the crew members fell violently ill. Leo's first experience on camera was on a children's TV shows, but he had to be brought off stage after he started wildly running around stage and slapping the cameras, trying to bring his mother on stage with him. Leo has reportedly abandoned the use of deodorant and showers sparingly in order to save water because of his concerns for the environment. When questioned about the qualities he looks for in a woman, Leo said that he just needed somebody basically like his mum. Around the time in which The Departed was being filmed, Leo was attacked by a woman who hit him in the face with a broken beer bottle. One of his doctors later stated that Leo had been very lucky because the bottle could have hit a main artery and he could have been dead in a matter of minutes. As a teenager, Leo would always perform for his school friends, imitating Charles Manson and Michael Jackson. In school, he was nicknamed the Noodle for his body-popping dance moves. Leonardo's first big audition was for This Boy's Life, and to impress Robert De Niro, he stood up and just screamed "no" into his face. In high school, Leonardo was one of the few white kids, and he was often picked on by members of Hispanic gangs. To prepare for his role in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, DiCaprio used to visit disabled children in their home and hang out with them and learn from their expressions and movements. In 1996, Leonardo risked his life when he went skydiving and his parachute failed to open. Luckily enough, an instructor managed to help him and pull the second parachute, and he survived the fall. The first scene ever filmed of Titanic was actually a scene in which Leonardo DiCaprio's character draws a naked Kate Winslet, and so they did a great job at acting as if they were in love, as this was their first scene ever together in front of cameras. To release the tension, Kate Winslet actually flashed her naked body at a nervous DiCaprio to break the ice. James Cameron, the director of Titanic, was so strict and demanding that often Kate and Leonardo found themselves crying together because they were so stressed out, and in certain moments Leonardo said he'd wondered what he'd actually got himself into. Leonardo didn't even attend the Oscar ceremony with the rest of the cast of Titanic, leaving the director a message that just said, "It just ain't me, bro." He later explained that he saw no point in attending an event in which he wasn't personally nominated. Kate Winslet desperately wanted Leonardo on the set of the Titanic and would pester the director with calls begging him to have her or at least DiCaprio on the set. During the reading for Titanic, Leonardo would slouch and smoke, but he was chosen anyway for the part because he's read his part in an impeccable way. Leonardo turned down some roles like Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader in the Star Wars series, Spider-Man, and the main protagonist of American Psycho. He lost his virginity when he was 18 years old to Barbara Jane Rowling, which at the time was 32 years old. He has been so popular that he hasn't even managed to keep private the moment in which he lost his virginity, as he discovered a group of people spy through the keyhole during the act. During the filming of The Beach, the stormy weather capsized the boat on which the crew members were, and many of them fell into the water along with the equipment. Luckily enough, Leonardo was a strong swimmer and managed to calm down the rest of the crew until they managed to get to safety. Leonardo received some unwanted negative attention in 2000 when his stepbrother Adam was arrested on suspicion of murder. Adam was soon released, but obviously Leo was devastated by the news and unwanted attention he received. Leo proposed to his girlfriend Giselle Bündchen, but weeks later she threw the ring back at him, saying that he had to choose between partying and her. Financial advisor Dana Giacchetto admitted to stealing $17.2 million from celebrity clients, including Leonardo DiCaprio. Since the episode, Leonardo has been very wary about who he befriends. As a matter of fact, after this episode, Leonardo decided to keep his group of friends limited to 10 people, and if he were to visit clubs, he would do it much closer to his home. As a child, Leonardo would spend most of his summer holidays in Germany with his grandparents. Although Leonardo has had dozens of model girlfriends, he has been surrounded by gay rumours for years. Leonardo DiCaprio's middle name is Wilhelm. In Revolutionary Road, Leonardo had to act a sex scene with Kate Winslet, and the film was actually directed by Kate Winslet's husband, which would yell at Leonardo to grab her harder, and so on. Kate Winslet was very nervous about her husband directing this scene, but Leo acted as a total professional. Leonardo has always been very close to Kate Winslet, actually giving her a ring with a personal inscription on the inside, which she would wear next to her engagement ring and wedding ring. Leonardo started to think less about the spotlight and more about his personal life and family after his grandmother passed away, and he started to think about how little of his life he had actually passed in a normal way. In contradiction with his ever-changing love life, Leo said that he actually believes in wedding and he wants to get married and have children one day. Leonardo enjoys regularly visiting South America and Africa to observe the wildlife. He actually said that in a certain point of his life, he actually wanted to be a travel agent to be able to travel as much as he could and see the world. Leonardo collects art and has a movie poster collection. He is a fan of hip-hop and in particular of the group A Tribe Called Quest. Leonardo DiCaprio's favourite figures in the movie industry are Robert De Niro, Martin Scorsese and Jack Nicholson. He absolutely loves old films such as Sunset Boulevard, Lawrence of Arabia and The Bicycle Thief. When he was 12 years old, he visited the Berlin Wall in Germany and pretended to push it down. Leonardo has bought an island in Belize and plans to build an eco-friendly hotel. One of Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriends, Bara Farelli, is from Israel, and she received a letter from an Israeli politician asking her to come to her senses and not marry DiCaprio and harm the future generations. Bara Farelli and Leonardo DiCaprio once actually went to a show in Environment 2 without booking any seat. Nobody recognised them, and then more than once they were asked to move because they were sitting in reserved seats. Once Leo was on a plane to Russia and the aircraft actually lost an engine, forcing it to crash land, risking everybody's life. When Leo changed and took another plane, this one also had problems. When Leonardo DiCaprio arrived in Russia, Putin stopped a prepared speech he was given to call Leonardo Leonardo a real man who didn't stop even in these situations. Leonardo bought a 10-year-old tortoise which could live for another 70 years and weigh 200 pounds. Leo was interested in playing the character of Alan Turing in The Imitation Game, but the choice then went for Benedict Cumberbatch. During the filming of The Great Gatsby in Australia, Leo settled for a $10,000 a week waterfront mansion with 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and a private jetty big enough for a super yacht. Leonardo says he doesn't remember his first love and says that if he had ever found true love, he would be married by now. Quentin Tarantino originally planned on Leonardo playing Colonel Landa in Inglourious Basterds. Leonardo said that playing a villain in Django Unchained appealed to him and allowed him to not have any rules or restrictions and indulge in the darkness. Leonardo has been heard boasting about the number of women he's been, and when somebody said that they wished to be like him, he said that everybody wants to be like him. In 1999, his lawyers filed an application to allow Leonardo DiCaprio to copyright his own name. When he was a child, his favourite films were Watership Down, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and Bedknobs and Broomsticks. DiCaprio, Kate Winslet and James Cameron committed to financially support the last living survivor of the Titanic, Milvina Dean, after discovering that she had to sell her personal belongings in order to pay for her nursing house bills. Leonardo DiCaprio owns his own production company called Appian Way Productions. Leonardo loves visiting Spain and wants to learn how to read literature in Spanish. There is an 8-bit web game called Leo's Red Carpet Rampage, in which a miniature animated DiCaprio has a never-ending quest of reaching an Oscar at the end of a red carpet, and he has to run and jump over paparazzi in order to reach it. Leo's first Oscar win generated 440,000 tweets per minute, making it the most tweeted moment during an Oscar ceremony, beating Ellen DeGeneres' Oscar selfie. Leonardo DiCaprio is a huge fan of anime. DiCaprio gave thousands of dollars to support both of President Barack Obama's presidential campaigns. In 2013, he donated $61,000 to support gay rights. He drives environmentally friendly vehicles and his house is powered by solar panels. A journalist once called Leonardo DiCaprio boring because he knew the names of 20 endangered species off by heart. Leonardo DiCaprio was once chased through the Louvre Museum by a group of teenage girls. As you can imagine, there are many fan fictions about Leonardo DiCaprio, including one in which he has to build a treehouse from scratch to escape from paparazzi, another one in which he wins the Oscar but his life ends that day. DiCaprio is a smoker and usually smokes electronic cigarettes. He donated a room equipped with computers to a library which is built on the site of his childhood home. In the Titanic nude drawing scene, the hands drawing Kate Winslet's naked body are not actually Leonardo's, they actually belong to the director James Cameron. While filming Django Unchained, Leonardo had to stop during the scene as he was struggling with the racial slurs. Co-star Samuel L. Jackson helped him to continue. According to the actress Kathy Bates, Leonardo used to carry around his pet lizard on the set of Titanic. Apparently he's never taken any drugs, and for The Wolf of Wall Street he had to be taught how to act high by drug experts. In 2011, he bought a Salvador Dali painting for $1.2 million. While filming the movie Blood Diamond in South Africa, Leo bonded with a small girl from an orphanage they visited, and he decided to sponsor her, frequently calling her and sending her monthly checks. In 2006, Leonardo DiCaprio risked his life again when he was caught in a cage with a great white shark, but he called this experience awesome. When Leo had to eat raw bison liver for his role in The Revenant, his lawyers had to sign off the scene before Leonardo DiCaprio ate the meat because it could have had diseases. DiCaprio is actually a vegetarian and has often spoken about how dirty meat is and about how bad factory farming is. He owns a $3 million house in Manhattan, a nearly $2 million house in Malibu, another $6 million house still in Malibu, and another $6.3 million house again in Malibu. And then he has a $2.5 million house in the Hollywood Hills, and he also bought the house next door for $4 million. So these are 101 facts about DiCaprio that you might not have known. Let me know if you enjoyed this video with a comment here below, and let me know if you would like to see more of these fact videos about other figures in the movie industry. See you soon in a new video, bye!